My name is Shareen Rosales. I am 46 years old. Me and my husband, Salvador, have been married for 30 years. I'm Native American. I come from one of the biggest reservations in Northern California. I'm a mother of 8 children. The first part of COVID is when I started to feel like I had symptoms, I was a little bit tired, but I had so many kids. I just thought I was exhausted from school and everything like that. I was constantly eating Tums, and I went to my primary care provider. She was like, well, let's get a scope done. I remember coming out of the procedure, and I could hear the doctor saying to the nurses she has a mass, a big mass, and we biopsied it, and that just kind of totally woke me up, and I'm like, what? Did I just hear, you say I have a mass in my stomach? And he's all, yes, you do. I'm stage 4 because I'll always be stage 4 no matter what. I also have it in my omentum area, thickening in my omentum area. Went to UCSF for a second opinion, and they confirmed everything, and at that time they told me they were just going to extend my life. That's all that they could really do, and I mean, that was devastating for me. August 2021 is when I first started Folfox. That was the first ones. I did 12 treatments of that, but my third treatment, I had an allergic reaction. It finally hit me, and I got up out of the chair after my third treatment, and I turned around and looked at my nurse. I said, there's something wrong with me, and they just put me back in my chair, and they had to start giving me all different kind of medicines to bring me out of the allergic reaction that I was having. So the immunotherapy that I did not work. So they turned to 2 other chemotherapies, and they shrunk it, really dramatically. And I did that all the way up until May of this year, almost a whole year, and it continued to work. I had Kirkenberg tumors, so they set me up with a doctor in UCSF to do a hysterectomy. So at that time, I was researching different clinical trials and stuff they had going on, and I wanted to see if I was a Claudine 18.2 candidate. When they did the surgery, they biopsied it, and I had the Claudine 18.2. So I'm their first candidate for this CAR T treatment. CAR T is they go in and they harvest your T cells. I went in and I had a 6-hour procedure where they took my blood and went through a machine that filters your blood to take your T cells out. And they take them back to the lab and they ramp them up. Your own immune system is fighting the cancer for you. In the beginning, it was about testing to see if I qualified for it. They do a lot of blood work. They do a lot of scans. You have to be in overall great health. I want to say 2 weeks before the CAR T, because you have to do a conditioning chemo before you get your CAR Ts infused. So I'd go in, say, for instance, on a Wednesday and do chemo Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday would be a rest day. And Monday, they would infuse the T cells. I got one more round left of cells left. They were able to harvest enough of my T cells for me to do 3 treatments. The first one, and then they needed to do that one 12 weeks after. So that's where I did the second treatment 12 weeks after, but the third treatment is a little longer out. But it could be 6 months from now, it could be 3 months from now. It all depends. Yeah. It was maybe about this big, and it shrunk down to this much. So they call it a 50% reduction. My kids are my biggest motivation. God is my biggest motivation. I mean, religion is my biggest motivation, and I put, faith over fear. I mean, I just tell myself, it's mind over matter, and prayer is a big part of my life. But like I said, if it wasn't for God, I don't think I'd be here right now. I mean, my faith is really strong.